Probably, I don't know. We'll just be getting that. Okay, it looks like we're back on. That was just a brief.
Back on.
Welcome back, everyone. So thanks for sticking with us for that brief like flip, but welcome back. So ZELLLOO's back. So good luck.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, so I don't know if you heard me before we ended up going offline, but that was the loudest room in the game right here. There are like no less than 10 light drillers in that room, and thankfully had invincibility, but you still had to hear it. So that room is very silly. There are also a lot more light drillers in this level. This is not an easy level either. This actually introduces the very last enemy type that we will see, and unfortunately they are Fusion Hulks, and they are exactly what they say on the tin. Fusion Hulks have the exact same fusion cannon I have. They cannot charge them, but their bolts do 60 damage if they touch me. So we don't want to touch them. So I'm going to grab a couple safety shields for this level just because this is a pretty sketchy area, and I'd rather have just a little bit of safety for a marathon. It's actually also a pretty interesting level of design because there's like 2 ways to get to this yellow key, but you don't really find out about the second way unless unless you do a lot of backtracking, so it's kind of weird. Alright, so let's deal with this Hulk right here first. Oh, I missed that shot. We'll deal with them later. Okay, so we're gonna hope for a cloak drop from an enemy. If not, we can get a backup one. Okay, it doesn't look like I'm getting one, so we're gonna take the backup that's right here. Yeah, none of them dropped a cloak. That's pretty unusual. So gonna be very careful not to wake enemies up. We're gonna fire now to turn their attention away. Like I said early in the run, they only know where my current position is when the sound happens, so I can use that to get out of the way. Okay, now I get 3 shields and a cloak. Marathon luck. Go figure. Okay, we're gonna get rid of that Hulk. So there are some Fusion Hulks in the room up ahead. We're gonna hopefully not get seen by them. Get out of my way, please. Please get out of the way. Okay. Actually, almost ran out of energy. Actually, didn't talk about the refill mechanics. So this game is very generous with refilling your supplies after every level. If you are below 100 energy, 100 shields, or a certain amount of missiles, depending on what difficulty level you're playing, you will be refilled to the minimums. But if you have more than that, you can actually keep more. So we try and take extra supplies wherever we can. And then a lot of other levels we'll just bank on getting to the exit with just a little bit of health left, and then we get fully refilled for the next level, which is a really nice mechanic. Otherwise, this game would be probably close to impossible on higher difficulties, because this game is really, really hard on the highest difficulties. So I'm going to hope for a cloak drop coming up. It makes the reactor room a lot safer. So let's see what kind of luck I get on this driller. And we got one. Okay. So just have to get past this red Hulk right here. Start charging up. Oh, I accidentally switched to the wrong weapon. That's fine. Here's level 4 quad lasers. It's okay. Just as long as I'm careful not to accidentally blow myself up. Don't worry, you'll get to see that again later. Level 4 quad lasers are very good for the final boss. Alright, and with that, we are now on Pluto, the final planet. All 3 levels of this are pretty intense in difficulty, so this is a little easier than Jupiter, but not by much. I'm having kind of a rough start here. We're going to have to go back to that corridor where I picked up the blue key, and unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of drillers in the way. The Matsons that spawn enemies, they'll keep spawning enemies quite often, and they don't stop for a while. I think that particular Matson can spawn up to like 6 heavy drillers at once, so it's a little sketchy. Everything in this level is sketchy. Alright, so there's a really nasty corridor coming up. The fusion bolts are very prone to hitting the walls, and they disappear if that happens. Thankfully, we got all of them in one shot. Gonna hopefully duck down. Okay. So we've got the last key, so now we just have to get to the end, and thankfully there is a very convenient invincibility on the way that we can use to get through the end of this level. Because I can't imagine doing the end of this level without the invincibility. I would say the current record for this run is quite optimized for how ridiculously finicky this game is. It forgoes a lot of the safety and just charges ahead, and I am not skilled enough to do that yet. Hopefully we'll get there at some point. If I can get out here before the invincibility wears off. Okay, so this is going to be our final death warp. So we're going to do one last gear drop right here. So I'm just going to use the concussion missile to blow myself up, because it's a long trip to the blue key and a long trip back. So we're just going to get rid of this platformer, hopefully. Just kind of push him back here. Let's see if we can get around this Hulk. I don't really care for killing him, but it looks like he's not giving me much choice. We're just going to push him. Okay, well, here, we'll death warp now. So that's going to be the last death warp, and hopefully the last death. I'm going to pray I don't die during the rest of this run. It's kind of possible, but should be able to make it work okay. So I'm actually forced to take an invincibility right here, and I kind of wish you could forego that invincibility, because it would actually be really good to have a death warp later in this level too. But the game literally is just like, no. So if anybody somehow finds a way to skip that invincibility, please let us know. So we're going to open up that door for later. There's a hidden invincibility behind that little floor panel, and we can use that on the trip back for the reactor. And actually also pick up some mega missiles right here. We're going to use these on the final boss, but otherwise we're just going to pick up the key and head straight for the reactor. So Garby, if you've got any last minute announcements, this is the last good time for them.
Okay, we did receive a $20 donation from an earlier runner, MChan338, who says, "Hey y'all, finally back from my power nap right after my run. As promised, here's $20 for successfully nailing the ZELLLOO in 5 Castle. I'm once again happy to be a part of this community once again. Every project is an amazing cause, and I wish ZELLLOO good luck on this run of descent. I would have put this for saving animal for a Hollow Knight for the Great Speed Run, so I would put this for donation for a monthly Hollow Knight. Have a happy marathon, Power 5. Thank you so much, and thanks for donating."
Yeah, thank you very much, MChan. Appreciate it. Great run. Unfortunately, I missed my shot on the reactor, so that got really sketchy. Well, there's the plasma. That's the only time you're going to see the plasma in this run, because I was never supposed to switch the plasma. That's okay. So this comes up to the final level in the run. We just have last set of keys right here. We're going to take this invincibility and just kind of go through these tunnels. I want to save the mega missiles for later. We can get a few extra homing missiles from these Hulks, so we're going to kill them off. We're going to hopefully make this invincibility last. My movement has not been very good, so hopefully we can make this last until the next set of Hulks here. I'm going to play this safe. Oh, yeah, you can see I took one hit, and my shield went from about 90 to, what, 29? Yeah, Hulk's hurt. We're going to avoid that last one, so thankfully we're all done with that. So pick up the last key, so the only thing I need to do is defeat the final boss, and thankfully the final boss does have the boss glitch still active, so it's not going to move at all. All I have to do is get to the safety invincibility in the middle and not get bopped by a mega missile, like I almost did. Then we've got the invincibility, we're going to load all our mega missiles on the boss. He's not going to do much of anything. And time is going to be when I cross this last exit coming up. Alright, and the boss is down. Just gonna take a look at this nice exit texture, and time.
GG.
Thank you very much. And thus, we have saved all of the mines from the infested robots. And unfortunately, our ship is infested too, so we can't return to Earth. So the PTMC sends us off into unknown space, setting the stage for Doom 2. Or not Doom 2, Descent 2. Wrong game. I'd be amazed if we somehow went to Descent 2 from here. Let's see what our in-game timing is. Also, here. I think Power Up with Pride 2022 is a cool saying. We'll throw that in. So 42:12 IGT is pretty solid. That's really good for a marathon. My personal best is a 40:59 that I got while practicing for this marathon. So really happy with that. But that is Descent. Thank y'all for having me. I really love doing stuff for Power Up with Pride. I'm happy to support such a great cause, and glad y'all have me. And stay tuned for some more runs because I am done and I need to sleep soon.
Thank you so much for that run, Zello. That was a great run. So, coming up next, we're going to be having the Link to the Past Randomizer No Logic with Aurelian, and it will be a really neat run, so definitely stick around for that. This is also my final run I'll be hosting for the marathon, so it's been great hosting, and I'll be passing it off to Corundum Forbes, aka Ruby, so definitely and so yeah, I'll be seeing y'all